A journalist once told me about our esteemed scientist, Robert Millikan, who confided in him that in his youth, when he was still very poor and lacked experience in the significant work he would later accomplish, he set a goal for himself. He distilled his dream of greatness and security into a simple statement, one that conveyed his belief that his dream of greatness and security had already become a reality. He repeated this affirmation to himself several times, allowing the notion of greatness and security to permeate his mind, displacing all other thoughts from his consciousness. These were the exact words of Dr. Millikan: "I have a prosperous, stable, and reliable income consistent with integrity and mutual benefit." I emphasize, I have a prosperous, stable, and reliable income consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. Take a moment to write this affirmation in the comments and incorporate it into your daily life. I have a prosperous, stable, and reliable income consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. This affirmation holds immense power. As I've emphasized repeatedly, everything hinges on our self-perception. What we do not affirm as true for ourselves cannot manifest in our lives. Dr. Millikan expressed his dream of greatness and security in the present tense, in the first person. He didn't say, "I will be great and secure," as that would imply he wasn't already great and secure. Instead, he transformed his future aspiration into a present reality. "I have," he declared, "a prosperous, stable, and reliable income consistent with integrity and mutual benefit." The future dream must become a present reality in the seeker's mind. We must mentally experience what we would experience in reality upon achieving our goal. For the soul that envisions itself in a situation assumes the consequences of that imaginative act. Without imagining ourselves in a situation, we remain unaffected by its outcome. This teaching aims to elevate us to a higher state of consciousness, to awaken the highest potential within us, fostering confidence and self-assurance. What rouses the highest within us serves as our teacher and healer. The initial word of correction or healing is always rise. To grasp the significance of this recurring biblical directive to rise, we must acknowledge that the universe, when understood internally, unfolds as an infinite series of levels. Man embodies his position in this series. As we ascend in consciousness, our world transforms itself in accordance with the level we have attained. The one who emerges from prayer as an improved person has had their prayer answered. To alter the present state, rise. Much like Dr. Millikan, we should elevate our consciousness to a higher plane. This elevation is attained by affirming that we are already what we aspire to be, by embodying the sensation of the realized desire. The unfolding of life's drama is a psychological narrative shaped by our attitudes, not our actions. There is no escaping our present circumstances except through a profound psychological shift. Everything hinges on our self-perception. What we do not affirm as true for ourselves will not come to fruition in our lives. We often hear about humility and meekness. But what does it truly mean to be meek? It doesn't imply being destitute, subservient, or submissive, as it is sometimes misunderstood. Those who diminish themselves in their own eyes have lost sight of the life that should be transformed by the true purpose of the Spirit. Men shouldn't gauge themselves based on life as they perceive it, but rather on men like Dr. Millikan, who, though financially modest and untested, dare to assume that he possesses a prosperous, stable, and reliable income in accordance with integrity and mutual benefit. Such men are the meek of the Gospels, those who inherit the earth. The original term translated as meek is the antithesis of resentful. Imagine discovering a wild vine, its unbridled vigor resulting in unruly branches. Through careful pruning and tending, I nurtured a vine that now yields tidy and abundant clusters. To reward the hand that pruned it with wisdom. A meek individual exercises self-discipline to the extent that they perceive only the best, contemplate only the best. They heed the advice, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. We ascend to a higher level of consciousness not by reigning in our passions, but by nurturing our virtues. In truth, a meek person exerts complete mastery over their emotional states. My moods are the loftiest, for they understand that they must maintain an elevated state if they wish to move in elevated circles. I firmly believe that all individuals, like Dr. Millikan, can alter the course of their lives. I find Dr. Millikan's method of asserting his desire as a present reality for himself to be profoundly significant for any seeker of truth. Its purpose is to be of mutual benefit, which inevitably is the aim for all of us. It is much simpler to envision good for all than to be solely self-serving in our imaginings. Through our imaginative faculties and affirmations, we possess the ability to transform our world, to mold our future. For the person of lofty purpose, for the disciplined individual, this comes naturally. Thus, let us all become disciplined individuals. Upon close observation, you will discern the swift reverberation of all your moods in response to this message. You will be able to adjust the circumstances of your daily life. When we understand the correlation between mood and circumstance in our lives, we embrace what comes our way. We recognize that everything we encounter is a part of ourselves in the creation of a new life. We must initiate from the very beginning with a shift in our mood. Each positive mood in an individual is akin to unlocking a door to a higher plane for them. Let's craft our lives based on a positive disposition or a community of elevated spirits. Just as individuals and communities advance spiritually in proportion to how they reach for loftier ideals, if their ideals are lowered, they descend to depths. If their ideals are raised, they achieve unimaginable heights. To ascend to the highest peaks, we must maintain a cheerful disposition. These heights were also fashioned for habitation. Every form of creative imagination encompasses elements of feeling. Feeling is the catalyst without which no creation can take place. There's nothing amiss in our aspiration to transcend our current state. There would be no progress in this world if it weren't for humanity's dissatisfaction with their present condition. It is natural for us to seek a more enriched personal life. We simply yearn for deeper understanding, enhanced well-being, and heightened security. In the 16th chapter of the Gospel of St. John, it is stated, "Until now, you have asked for nothing in my name. Ask, and you will receive, that your joy may be full." A spiritual rebirth is imperative for humanity. By spiritual rebirth, I mean a genuine religious disposition in which each individual embraces the challenge of embodying a new and elevated sense of self, much like Dr. Millikan did. A nation cannot exhibit greater wisdom collectively than it generates within its individual constituents. That's why I've consistently advocated for self-improvement, understanding that if we ardently strive for this form of self-improvement, meaning to embody a new and loftier concept of self. All other forms of aid will be beneficial to us. The ideal we serve and aspire to attain is poised for a fresh incarnation, but unless we offer it a human connection, it remains incapable of being born. We must assert that we already embody what we aspire to be and live as such. Just like Dr. Millikan, we comprehend that our assumption, though contrary to the external world, will solidify into reality if maintained. The ideal individual does not pass judgment based on appearances, they judge equitably. They perceive themselves and others as they wish them to be seen. They listen to what they desire to hear, they move about, hearing only positivity. They discern the truth, and the truth emancipates them, leading to goodness. The truth will liberate all of humanity. This is our spiritual renaissance. Character is predominantly the outcome of the focus and persistence of voluntary attention. Think sincerely, and your thoughts will nourish the world's hunger. Speak sincerely, and every utterance of yours will be a fruitful, living seed. Live sincerely, and your life will be a grand, noble creed. We trust this video has been both inspiring and beneficial for you. If you found the content valuable and want to continue learning, please leave a comment below, sharing your thoughts and experiences. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to receive more exclusive content like this. Together, we can forge a resilient and motivating community, ceaselessly striving for the best in our lives. Thank you for being a part of this movement of transformation and personal evolution. A warm embrace, and until the next video.